Seattle Seahawks back on the road taking on the Detroit Lions at 2-2, and at 3-1 the Seattle Seahawks absolutely rolling like a bus without brakes, looking for their fourth straight win. And we'd start off with a David and Goliath situation here as Stafford gives it to Blunt, and Blunt, a 250-pound back, is flattened by none other than a 200-pound Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, the star of this episode, by the way. Look forward to that as they get the ball. They tack on a field goal early, and then Stafford going to the flat, finding Eric Ebron, starting where he left off, 9 yards on the completion, and now Stafford stepping up, wide open. Marvin Jones more wide open than a Burger King drive-thru inside the 50-yard line in the Seattle territory, and then Stafford with no rush in his face gonna find number 11 yet again down to the 11-yard line, and now Marvin Jones would set up Matthew Stafford. Reservations for 6. Golden Tate, a golden ticket. He redeems it and hits the nay-nay against his former squad. And Golden Tate has his first touchdown on the game, as Stafford does as well. As Russell Wilson now with redemption, looking for Jordan Matthews inside the 50 already, down to the 43-yard line. And more redemption. Russell the Love Muscle gunning it to Dougie Fresh and Doug Baldwin inside the 20-yard line down to the 16, as Seattle's in a good spot, giving it to Kenneth Dixon, the NFL's leading rusher, down to the 3-yard line. And now the Seahawks, they go to a goal line pass, of course, as they actually do. And unlike Super Bowl 49, this one's caught for a touchdown. Henry Chatham, the rookie, coming through, and no Malcolm Butler in sight to intercept that pass, as Seattle takes a 10-7 lead going into the second, as LeGarrette Blount getting mean with the screen, hard with the stiff arm, down to the 48-yard line near Seattle territory. Stafford 7 for 8 so far. Play action now, make that 8 for 9, finding the rookie Woods in for an injured Marvin Jones down to the 12-yard line. And now Detroit threatening 3rd down and 2, giving it stretched right to LeGarrette Blount. He is absolutely flattened. It's Lewis Alexander with a big stop, a lot of speed at linebacker. And LeGarrette Blount got popped, and now give it to Kenneth Dixon for a first down. Feed the beast. And now with 4:10 and ticking left in the first half, Russell Wilson going to Jordan Matthews down to the 40-yard line, getting mean up the middle. And now Russell Wilson, never saw him coming. The corner blitz, of course. Russell Wilson really likes corners named Butler, as we already specified in this episode, so that's no problem for him as he gets sacked. And now Wilson going down the field, and a leaping catch made by Jordan Matthews, his favorite target thus far, as Russell Wilson going back to work, setting up our own screen, and a lot of good blocks. Kenneth Dixon, mean with the screen, harm with the stiff arm, down to the 10-yard line. Looks like another screen pass we saw earlier in the day. And now Dixon gonna take it himself in for the touchdown. The offensive line opens an absolute crater. Kenneth Dixon, reservation for 6, and untouched like the dishes. Now leave it 3rd down and 3. Seattle up 17-10. Give it back to Kenneth Dixon, and he has great vision, and he's got a first down, making a cut up the middle. And now Russell Wilson out of the bunches. He's going to float it for Tyler Lockett, and he snags it out of midair. He applied the stick-em to his gloves this morning, down to the 37-yard line, and helping Seattle get on the other side of the 50 as Russell the Love Muscle finding Henry Chatham, putting in work, the rookie, a candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year thus far. He would set up a first down, and now Russell Wilson rolling like a car without brakes. He'd get a block, and Russell Wilson stumbling out of bounds at the 3-yard line, make that the 5. He was actually marked out earlier. Stafford would go play action as Seattle would set up a field goal, but that field goal would not matter. Earl Thomas, E.T., they call him that. He's unhuman for a reason, and Earl Thomas has his 5th interception of the season. And Seattle's defense would extend Seattle's lead to 27-10 as Jaron Reed, the Alabama boy, the big defensive tackle, coming in for the sack. Now 1 play later, it's 3rd down and 3. Matthew Stafford dropping back. He's going to find his man. That's Willie Snead, the former Saint, down to the 45-yard line. So the Lions needing to get back into it here. Matthew Stafford play action, looking down the field, throwing a bomb, and it's going to be broken up by guess who? Earl Thomas, preventing a fat chunk of yardage as Matthew Stafford still airing it out here. And that is going to be Earl Thomas's 2nd pick of the game, everybody. Down the sideline, ET3 gonna go all the way untouched like the dishes, and Gone Like a Girl in the Country song for the 2nd time of the day. Deja vu for Earl Thomas on the same exact play. Matthew Stafford making the same mistakes, and still going back to the air as LeGarrette Blount gets out of bounds at the 41-yard line, and tackling him is a load as that's DJ Alexander shaken up. He will miss 3 weeks with a broken collarbone as Matthew Stafford stepping up and bombing it down the field. still throwing at Earl Thomas, testing him, and he almost comes up with his third pick of the afternoon. Getting dangerous here as Stafford throws off his back foot, finds Woods, gets put through the spin cycle. That's Lewis Alexander, and the rookie gets Detroit inside the 40-yard line, down by 24, and now Stafford continuing to air it out, finding his man. That's Willie Snead, stumbling, and he's smacked by Tedrick Thompson down at the 12-yard line. Now 10 yards later, give it to LeGarrette Blount, the big man, in for his first touchdown of the game. And Detroit cuts the deficit to 18 points as they miss the PAT. That is huge, and LeGarrette Blount now down the sideline, staying in bounds, and harmed with the stiff arm down to the 24-yard line. It takes a whole herd to bring him down as Stafford sets up the screen to Blount yet again, and why not? As he gets a block, stumbling Seattle defenders, Lewis Alexander finally drags him down and out of bounds. He goes from the 41 to the 41. They set up yet another screen, and now Stafford getting chased down, and he will be tackled by Frank Clark and D'Ambro Browning, who group up and tag team him as Golden Tate torches the defense. Earl Thomas can't make the tackle, and he is gone. Golden Tate slipping tackles, going all the way to the house against his former team. His second TD of the ball game, and now Seattle's lead only 11 points, and Kenneth Dixon fumbles the football, but Russell Wilson is right there on patrol with the awareness. Russell the Love Muscle with the hustle into the end zone for a touchdown. That is an unbelievable heads-up play, and Russell Wilson takes it the distance. And guys, that is how the Detroit Lions' fate will see, as 2 pick sixes by the ball hawk Earl Thomas and 1 forced fumble by Earl Thomas would seal this game and give Seattle enough of an edge to beat out the Detroit Lions, who played okay despite the turnovers. Seattle's new look front seven is still giving up a lot of big plays, and it's not quite ideal just yet. We're relying too much on Kenneth Dixon on offense, and after that I decided to change the sliders just a little bit. So if you guys are copying my slider set, here is my CPU set. But we have a game next week against the San Francisco 49ers, an interdivision clash here, as Russell the Love Muscle starting off play action, rolling out, and he's going to be absolutely sandwiched by 2 defenders. That's Tank Carradine and DeForest Buckner, and now Carlos Hyde getting the carry, going nowhere. Loss of 1 on the carry. He would end up having a pretty solid game for the Niners, as Jimmy G and the 49ers now, he's in the uniform, throwing off his back foot, and Jimmy G making magic like he did all season long last season, hitting Luke Wilson, the former Seahawk, for 24, and now off the blitz, Russell Wilson finding Henry Chatham, who plows a man over, big, young, and country strong, down to the 44-yard line, and like I've said, tackling him is a pain. Hopefully that defensive back is alright, as Kenneth Dixon gets wide open, harmed with the stiff arm, down to the 22-yard line. Seattle would kick a field goal and tie the 49ers here in the first quarter. 134 left in the game as Jimmy G going play action, tons of time, going down the field. It's the rookie Davion Johns, and Davion Johns with a need for speed. Welcome to the NFL, and Shaquille Griffin gets absolutely toasted on that play. And San Francisco has an early lead as Russell Wilson going to Tyler, the touchdown creator, who hits the spin move, throwing a defensive back through the spin cycle aggressively. It's a wonderful ride and a need for speed. 77 yards to the house. Tyler Lockett making big plays like he has all season long in a contract season, as well as he ties the game for Seattle. And Jimmy G now getting sandwiched by Frank Clark, running into a wall. And that was the first of 3 for Frank the Tank, as he played a long-fought game of Marco Polo with Jimmy Garoppolo today, as Russell Wilson and the offense get the ball back, going to Kenneth Dixon, harmed with a stiff arm and hitting the truck stick. All the skills you need in the NFL's leading rusher, as Kenneth Dixon does it all, and he does it well, as Russell Wilson going right back to work, finding a wide open man, Tyler Lockett. Don't leave him wide open, hitting the spin move, and he's dangerous in space, down to the 46-yard line. And now dancing yet again, Russell Wilson, another party with the spin move, spinning out 2 men. That's the third down back, J.D. McKissick, who sets up a field goal for Seattle, as Jimmy Garoppolo stepping up to run frantic in the pocket, and Bobby Wagner says, "No, sit down, son, no soup for you." 1 sack, a loss of 1, 3rd down and 12 now. Garoppolo throwing off his back foot to Carlos Hyde, and he has a first down and a gain of 13. So Jimmy Garoppolo has decided that the best way to attack the Seattle defense is by dancing around in the pocket like a maniac, and it's actually working pretty well so far, as he picks up a first down, hitting the truck stick over a corner. Unbelievable. Jimmy Garoppolo with that strength all those years backing up Tom Brady and holding his clipboard is holding him strong here as he gets down to the 21-yard line. And that would lead to a San Francisco field goal tying the game as Wilson off his back foot hitting Henry Chatham, the rookie, who gets flattened but has enough for a first down. And now, with 23 seconds left in the set first half, it's going to be Wilson to Henry Chatham yet again, his favorite target. He's got a lot of them. He's down, and this field goal by Will Lutz is going to be no good. All those efforts are wasted, only padding the stats a little bit as Will Lutz is just a tiny bit short on the field goal attempt. So San Francisco catches a break, and Carlos Hyde right out of that break. What does he do? Score a touchdown, breaking tackles, weaving and steaming into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. They take the lead 22-13 as Russell the Love Muscle finding Tyler Lockett. He is dangerous yet again. So far, the absolute Achilles heel for San Francisco is Russell the Love Muscle rolling out yet again, and he's going to take it himself. Going for the pylon, rolling like a bus without brakes. Russell Wilson into the end zone. First rushing touchdown of the game, and one of the first of the season, as he ties up the game. Playing relentless from behind is Kenneth Dixon, putting this team on his back, getting Russell Wilson into another good spot here on first down and 10, as Wilson going to find Henry Chatham, and Henry Chatham runs over a man, gets the first down, but another 15 with the face mask. He's trying to rip his head off, and that will tack on 15 as Wilson going to throw quick to Henry Chatham for a first down to the 1-yard line, and they won't throw a pass. They will give it to Trey Madden here, who plows forward. Get off me, he says as he powers into the end zone, and Seattle regains this lead. An exciting game here, guys. Make sure you drop a like as Seahawks Luke Wilson, the former Seahawk rather, gets a first down, and Jimmy G continuing to roll play action. He's going to throw off his back foot across his body. That is a Brett Favre type throw, but this time it is intercepted, and Jimmy G has just thrown this game away as the 49ers played the Seahawks all the way to the end, and a Hail Mary last-second heave to the end zone, and guess who? Earl Thomas coming up with an interception, but Jimmy G threw this game away right there with that boneheaded throw. And Earl Thomas, 4 turnovers in the episode over 2 games. He is a leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, so leave likes and comments about Earl Thomas. He was fantastic in this episode, as Kenneth Dixon, also fantastic, putting this team on his back. Russell Wilson, though, late in that game was absolutely phenomenal, flawless. And next week, we've got a game against Arizona. They've got a tough defense. We need to bring everything on offense. Other than that, guys, I'm Legion, signing out. Thank you so much for watching.